verse 39, the opulence of Absolute. Yaschapi sarvabhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna na tadasti vina yachan maya bhutam characharam. Yaschapi sarvabhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna na tadasti vina yachan maya bhutam characharam. Yaschapi sarvabhutanam bijam tada aham arjuna na tadasti vina yachan maya bhutam characharam. Yat, whatever, cha, also, api, may be, sarvabhutanam, of all creations, bijam, the seed, tat, that, aham, I am, Arjuna, O Arjun, na, not, tat, that, asti, there is, vina, without, yat, that, swat, exist, maya, by me, bhutam, created, characharam, moving and unmoving. Whatever also may be of all creation, the seed, that I am, Arjun, not that there is, without that exists, may be by me, created, moving and unmoving. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Furthermore, O Arjun, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being moving or unmoving that can exist without me. Purport: everything has a cause, and that cause of seed of manifestation is Krishna. Without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist. Therefore, he is called omnipotent. Without his potency, neither the movable nor the unmovable can exist. So whatever exists is not founded on the energy of Krishna is called Maya, that which is not. So my realization is that here in purport, Srila Prabhupada's translation says that, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. And also in purport, Srila Prabhupada says that whatever existence is not founded in energy of Krishna is called Maya. So in Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, verse 15, Lord says that I am the super soul situated within the heart of all living beings. I am the origin, the middle, and the end of the living beings. Lord Krishna is present in the heart of all living beings, including the plants and animals, as the super soul next to the individual soul. Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading, and everything is situated within him. So Lord Krishna is always present on his planet called the Gokula Vrindavana, and he is also present everywhere in the millions of universes. So also I read one of the Srila Prabhupada's lecture, and he talks about the Maya. So in that lecture, Srila Prabhupada says that Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, verse 4, there in Srila Prabhupada in his lecture says that when Vasudev, by his meditation, saw the Supreme Person and a Maya also. So Maya is on the backside. So Maya cannot come in the front side. So Krishna is never covered by Maya. It is our eyes which covered by Maya. So we, the part and parcel of the Krishna, we are covered by Maya, not Krishna. The theory that Krishna becomes covered, that is nonsense. The Mayavadi says that. So how Krishna can be covered? Srila Prabhupada says, Krishna, Srila Prabhupada further says that, no, Krishna cannot be covered. He is controller of the Maya and we are controlled by the Maya. That is the difference. Also, Srila Prabhupada further says that Vasudev, he was a liberated soul. So, sorry. Yeah. Maya is already there side by side. Krishna and Maya, just like this light, this this side is light and other side is the darkness. And Srila Prabhupada gives an example that this light is one side is very bright and another side is dark. So this darkness and this light is always side by side. Similarly, Krishna and Maya is side by side because Maya is one of the energy of Krishna. So when Vyasadeva, by Bhakti Yoga meditation, experienced the whole thing, what did he see? Srila Prabhupada says that he saw Krishna, he saw the Supreme Person, and he saw also Maya on the backside. Just like when if you stand and the if you stand on the light side, you see your shadow is on the other side. So the shadow is on the backside. So in our backside, the Maya is there always. So although you are in front of Krishna, so as soon as you become little slack in Krishna consciousness, immediately Maya is ready to capture you. So Maya is always alongside by side. So as soon as Krishna is pervading, the Maya is also all pervading. As soon as there is a lack of Krishna consciousness, there is immediately Maya. Living entity is a child of God. God is Supreme Father. Krishna says, Aham Bija Pradhapita. I am the seed-giving father of all living entities. Sarvo Yoneshu Kamteshu, Bhagavad Gita chapter 14, verse 4. In whichever form they may live, they are all living entities. They are my sons. Actually, that is the fact. We all living entities. We are son of God. But we have forgotten. Therefore, we are fighting. Just like in a nice family, if anyone knows father is supplying us food, he is providing everything. So we brothers, why should we fight? We don't fight. Similarly, if you become a God consciousness and if you become Krishna consciousness, particularly, this fighting will be over. Like Srila mentions about there are people, they call themselves like I'm American, I'm Indian, I'm Russian, I'm Chinese. So these all nonsense things. So these nonsense things will be over when Krishna consciousness movement is so nice. As soon as one become Krishna consciousness, this fighting, this political fighting or national fighting will be over immediately because they all come in a real consciousness that everything belongs to the God. As a children, a child of the family has got right to take advantage from the father. Similarly, if everyone as part and parcel of God or everyone is a child of God, then everyone has the right to use the property of the father. So that right is not that right. The right belongs to the human being. According to the Bhagavad Gita, the right belongs to all living entities. Never mind whether he is living being or animal or trees or bird or beast or insect. That is Krishna consciousness. We do not think in terms of the simply by my brother is good, I'm good, and all are bad. All coin that is all the narrow thinking, that's crippled consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada says we hate that sort of thing. Also further, Srila Prabhupada as that was the quote. I came across one of the quote that says that uh, Lord Chaitanya is trying to wake up all children of Maya, nature's son. To wake up, the similar instruction in the Vedic Upanishad, the advice is that everyone should now wake up. They should not sleep under the spell of illusion, material nature. This human form of body must be utilized. The same thing Lord Chaitanya is speaking ordinary in ordinary song. Jiva Jiva Jago, Guru Chanda Guru Char, Guru Chanda Bole. All living entities wake up. Don't miss this opportunity. Kota Kota Nidra Jao, Maya Pishachara. How long you shall remain asleep in this way under the spell of Maya? So this is the opportunity, and don't sleep. That's a and further, Srila Prabhupada says that, and Lord Chaitanya further mentioned, says that you have forgotten, but I have brought one medicine for everyone. Just like when a man remains unconscious and under some intoxication or some snake bite, there are some herbs, and if you put before the nostril, and if the patient smells, immediately he gets consciousness. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that I have brought also one medicine, and that medicine is Harinam Maha Mantra. And this chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you take it, simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His consciousness stage or sleeping stage under the spell of illusory Maya will gradually vanish. So we should not we should not disturb by the dangers of this material world. If we are actually Krishna consciousness, we should face the danger, and always we should depend on Krishna. This is called surrender, and that maybe that you might be thinking I'm in a danger, but Krishna, if you have surrendered to Krishna, he will save. Keep the faith. Don't be disturbed when you are in danger, because this world is padam padam vipadam. Every step there is a danger. Just like we are walking on the street, immediately we'll find something thorn or pinpock of the thorn. It might become like, boil, or it may be dangerous sometimes while walking even the street. By talking on the street, by eating our food, in English there is say that there is many dangers between the cup and the lip. So you should always remember that this material world is simply full of dangers. If you think that we are very safe, we are very expert, we have made this world very happy, then you are fool number one. But if you take the shelter of Krishna, these dangers are nothing. The Kunti will say always, so so this is the study of Krishna, that if you become Krishna consciousness, a sincere servant of Krishna, and don't be agitated by the dangerous condition of this material world, you will simply depend on Krishna and he will save us. So this is my realization from this verse. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Sopan Prabhu, for your nice realization. Prabhu, Her Grace Pun Pragya Vyasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Sumarpan Krishna Prabhuji for giving me this opportunity and organizing this wonderful class. It's the last opulence Krishna is explaining. Yachapi sarva bhutana bijam tad aham arjuna na tadasti vinayatsyam maya bhutam characharam. Translation. Furthermore, O Arjun, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being moving or unmoving that can exist without me. So, what I realized that Srila Prabhupada, in the first line, Srila Prabhupada says, everything has a cause, and that cause or seed of manifestation is Krishna. So, yes, everything has a cause, but people think, and nowadays, like the nature, and they think that everything is happening automatically, autonomous, like, and it's coming from chemicals, life come from chemicals, and all those theories. But when we think about and when we meditate upon this point, that everything has a cause, that gives us this chance of realization that who is that cause. And when we say that we should see the Krishna's hand in everything, so then we can see that everything is rest on Krishna. And there are many verses like in Brahma Samhita um, says that all Krishna is causes of all causes, is cause of all causes. And um, another verse in Bhagavad Gita, uh, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. And Sopan Prabhu also quoted Aham Bija Prada Pita. That's the third verse of 14th chapter. Now, just before one verse, on the same chapter, chapter 14, verse 3, Krishna is explaining about this material substance. And I'll just recite the verse. Mama yonir mahat brahma tasmin garbham dadhami aham sambhavah sarvabhutana tato bhavati bharata. Translation. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. So it is Krishna who glance over that material substance and impregnate all the living entities. And then it comes into, so that's, he is the bij, he's the seed, he's the seed giving father for all the entities and everything. And Srila Prabhupada gives an example of scorpion laying eggs in the purport. Srila Prabhupada are saying, the scorpion lays its eggs in piles of rice. And sometimes it is said that the scorpion is born out of rice. But the rice is not the cause of the scorpion. Actually, the eggs were laid by the mother. Similarly, material nature is not the cause of the birth of living entities. The seed is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they only seem to come out as products of material nature. Thus, every living entity, according to his past activities, has a different body created by this material nature, so that the entity can enjoy or suffer according to his past deeds. The Lord is the cause of all the manifestations of living entities in this material world. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, yes, Srila Prabhupada is explaining this point very nicely that, yeah, it seems to be that material nature is producing everything, but in reality, is the it's Krishna who's behind all these activities, or who's the cause of this all manifestation, who's the seed of everything. But another point Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the main purport here, that is not even movable, unmovable cannot be existing without Krishna. So we studied that Lord Krishna has different energies, and para and apara prakriti. So all is coming from Krishna's energies, that manifestation and spiritual world, material world. But the main point of realization that I took it from it is that this point that everything has a cause, that gives me this chance of realization that yes, everything is happening is gotta I can see, so I can realize that it's got a hand of Krishna. So I can see Krishna's hand in everything what's happening. So yes, that's my realization. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Sopan Prabhuji. Thank you, Sanjay Prabhu, for your very nice realization. And thank you, His Grace Ambrish Prabhu, His Grace Pranpragya Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing this program and giving us opportunity to share our realizations. So this verse, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 39. Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadham arjuna na tadasti vina yasyana maya bhutam characharam. So furthermore, Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. So Srila Prabhupada actually gave a very nice purport. It's a very short purport, but I think very important point. And there are many verses, actually confirm the similar point. So the famous verse is the Sarva Yonisha Kaunteya Prityaha Sambhavanteha Tasam Brahma Mahadayonir Aham Bija Pradapita. So Krishna again confirmed in chapter 14 that he's the seed-giving father, and we all know that actually that reference came many times and it has been confirmed. Even in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many verses regarding how actually Krishna, his glance is transcendental and how he glances at the Prakriti and he impregnates, So that is the absolute nature of Krishna, He can do any function with any of his organs, not like us. So because of him, all the beings, they actually come into existence, be it moving or non-moving. And there is a actually very similar verse in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, where it is confirmed. It's a 7.10. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam vidhi partha sanatana buddhir buddhimatam ashmi tejas vinam aham. O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existence, the intelligence of the intelligent and the prowess of all powerful men. So Prabhupada gave a quite powerful purport there, actually explaining this very point, where he says that Bijam means seed. Krishna is the seed of everything. In contact with material nature, the seed fructifies into the various living entities, movable and inert. Bird, beast, many other living creatures are moving, living entities. Trees and plants, however, are inert. They cannot move, but only stand. Every entity is contained within the scope of 8.4 million species of life. Some of them are moving, some of them are inert. In all cases, however, the seed of their life is Krishna. As stated in Vedic literature, Brahman, or the supreme absolute truth, is that from which everything is emanating. Krishna is Parabrahman, the supreme spirit. Brahman is impersonal. Parabrahman is personal. Impersonal Brahman is situated in a personal aspect that is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, originally, Krishna is the source of everything. He is the root. As the root of a tree maintains the whole tree, Krishna being original root of all things, maintain everything in this material manifestation. There is also confirmed in Vedic literature, Yato va imama bhutani jayante. The supreme absolute truth is that from which everything is born. He is the prime eternal among all eternal. He is the supreme living entity of all living entities. He alone is the maintaining all life. Krishna, yeah. So that is actually, that point is very well actually nicely explained, that the generating seed of all existence, be it moving or non-moving. Also, where it says that everything has a cause, So again, Brahm Samhita, this famous verse, confirms that Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karan. So that is very famous verse, Sarva Karana Karan. So everything has a cause. But Srila Prabhupada also says the cause, yes, that is Krishna, but effect is also Krishna. The cause. So Krishna says that actually, if you ask a question, what is that cause mean? So that would be my father, and he's caused by his father. So if you actually go on searching like that, you will get to the Krishna. So that is one simple example, but he's the cause of everything and also effect. So whatever we see in this material world, that is actually the result of the reaction between various energies of Krishna, So that can be actually a living entity, acting on the actually matter, So that is also energy of Krishna himself. So the interaction also produced that effect, that is also Krishna. So the same point that everyone confirmed that Krishna is everything, whatever we can see. And the last statement in the purport where it says that whatever existence is not founded on the energy of Krishna is called Maya, that which is not. Actually is in a double quote. So meditating on that point, what that means, that Maya, that which is not. So Maya is something that does not exist in one way, because Maya is just purely the forgetful of Krishna. That is Maya. And this point is very well explained in teaching of Lord Chaitanya, where it says that when we speak of non-Krishna or desire, which has no connection with Krishna, this does not mean that anything exists without Krishna. Actually, there cannot be anything non-Krishna, because everything is a product of the energy of Krishna. Since Krishna and his energies are identical, everything is Krishna indirectly. For example, consciousness is a common to every living entity, but when consciousness is purely centered on Krishna, that is Krishna consciousness. It is pure. When consciousness is centered on something other than Krishna, when it is directed to sense gratification, it is called non-Krishna consciousness. Thus, it is a polluted state that the conception of a non-Krishna comes. In pure state, however, there is nothing but Krishna consciousness. So actually the Maya, whatever we call it, that which is not, is actually is illusory state, it's not anything tangible. But what is said is purely actually the way we think, if you are actually conscious of Krishna, then it's Krishna consciousness, people who do not have this knowledge, that doesn't mean they are actually founded on something else, any other energy. They're still on the Krishna's energy, but they are not conscious of Krishna. So their consciousness is polluted. So that is only difference. And maybe that's why that actually statement, the Maya, that which is not, is actually put in a double quote, saying that what that actually means, one should meditate. So everything is Krishna around us. And, even Lord Narasimha prayer says that you can see Krishna here, there, outside, in the heart. So what I realized that is actually Krishna is actually around us. We don't really have to go anywhere to search for Krishna. Krishna is outside in everything that we see, and Krishna is in temple as well. So actually, how that helps our realization is that using all these examples of opulence of Krishna that we can meditate on, we are actually realizing Krishna, because Srila Prabhupada talked about this point many times. Like even on the beach, he said that actually the blue sky, the sun that is shining in the sky, the ocean, everything reminds of the Krishna, because they are all energies of Krishna. So devotee actually can go anywhere and still find Krishna, and that is a way to become actually conscious of Krishna, which will ultimately help us to become a Krishna consciousness. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear devotees, for your association. Thank you, Sopan Prabhu. Thank you, Sanju Prabhu. Thank you, Sri Prabhu, for giving your relations. And thank you, Amrish Prabhu. Thank you, Purnipagna Devi Dasi Mataji. And thank you, Krishna Prabhu, for doing so much for me all the time, unconditionally. So, my relation from this verse, Yachapi sarva bhutana bijam tadam arjuna na tad asti vina yatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Translation. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being moving or unmoving that can exist without me. Purport. Everything has a cause, and that cause or seed of manifestation is Krishna. Without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist. Therefore, he is called omnipotent. Without his potency, neither the movable nor the unmovable can exist. Whatever existence is not founded on the energy of Krishna is called Maya, that which is not. So you all have very nicely covered various points. So my relation is in the verse, it's Sarva Bhutanam, of all creations, Characharam, moving and unmoving. So this is the point which Krishna has covered in 10.8 also, and he's repeating the same point. So it means he's emphasizing on this point while describing his while telling about his opulences. So that verse is Aham sarvasa prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. So here it says sarvasa of prabhava, source of all generation. Sarvasva prabhava, source of all generation. So same point is Krishna repeating in this verse also. And so of course it's a very important point. Now, if we go to Bhagavatam, in fact, most of the part is actually where Lord Brahma, Narad Muni, various other devotees, sages describing what the opulences of Krishna, and there's a lot of discussion and information about the creation of Krishna's creation. So I have picked up one verse from Canto 2, where it is actually in the purport Prabhupada differentiating between potency and form, about how people understand and how the difference is understood by devotees and non-devotees or different types of devotees. So there's a long this is a long verse. I'll read the translation first, then if time permits, I'll try to sing that also. Translation is, Lord Brahma is describing about Krishna's opulences to Narad Muni. And this is the concluding part, and he has described that from the various limbs of Krishna, parts of the body, how actually nature has been created and what has come out, and the purpose and everything. So translation, I myself, that is Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, great generators of living being like Daksha and Prajapati, yourself, that is Narad and Kumaras, heavenly demigods like Indra and Chandra, the leaders of the Bhur-loka planets, the leaders of the earthly planets, the leaders of the lower planets, the leaders of the Gandharva planets, the leaders of the Vidyadhar planets, and the leaders of the Charana Loka planets, the leaders of the Yakshas, Rakshas, and Urgas, the great sages, the great demons, the great atheists, and the great spaceman, as well as the dead bodies, evil spirits, satans, jinn, kushmandas, great aquatics, great beasts, and great birds, etc. In other words, anything and everything which is exceptionally possessed of power, opulence, mental and perceptual dexterity, strength, forgiveness, beauty, modesty, opulence, and breeding, whether in form or formless, may appear to be the specific truth and the form of the Lord. But actually, they are not so. They are only a fragment of the transcendental potency of the Lord. So that's coming in the further in this same book, same chapter. So this is where Brahma has concluded opulences, which Krishna is describing here. Not all of them, and but most of them. And he's very nicely telling to Narad Muni that who Krishna is. And I would like to sing this verse also. It's a very, yeah. Aham bhavo yagna ime prajesha daksha dayo ye bhavat adayascha sarvaloka pala khagaloka pala nila lokapala kalalokapala Gandharva Vidyadhara Charanesa Ye Yaksha Raksharo Raganaganathaha Ye Varishinam Rishabha Pitrinam Daite Andra Siddha Svesaradana Vendraha Anye Chayena Preta Pisacha Bhuta Kusmanda Yadomriga Pakshi Adisaha Yatkincha loke Bhagavan Mahaswad Ojah Sahaswad Balvakshamavat Shri Hari Vibhoti Atmavad Adbhutaranam Tattvam Param Rupavat Aswarupam. So that's how Lord Brahma has sung, and Prabhupada had translated. And in the concluding part of the purport, Prabhupada described the difference between the understanding the people, how they understand, and what they understand, and why they understand like that. So Prabhupada writes, when the Lord is described as formless in the Vedic literatures, it is to be understood that all these forms mentioned above within the experience of universal knowledge are different exhibitions of Lord's transcendental potencies only. And none of them factually represent the transcendental form of the Lord. So this is a very important point. Prabhupada is very clearly writing that what is what. And that is where the confusion starts for a non-devotee. But when the Lord actually descends on the earth, or anywhere within this universe, the less intelligent class of men also mistake him to be one of them. And thus they imagine the transcendence to be formless or impersonal. That's where the confusion starts, that non-devotees start thinking that Krishna is also formless and he has taken a form from one of the potencies. And they don't realize that the potency is also source of, potencies are also coming from Krishna. So Prabhupada concludes, factually, the Lord is not formless, nor does he belong to any of the multi-forms experienced within the universal forms. This is very important. Factually, the Lord is not formless, nor does he belong to any of the multi-forms experienced within the universal forms. One should try to know the truth about the Lord by following the instructions of Brahmaji. And for that, we have to read the entire chapter. So this is what I wanted to share, that while we read this verse, and it says, furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seeds of all existence. There is no moving, there is no being, moving or unmoving, that can exist without me. So Prabhupada very nicely described, and that's what I realized from this verse. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, devotees. Anybody else want to share something or their relations before we close? Okay, we should. Okay, thank you, devotees, for your time and realization. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai,
Jai.
Nitai Gaura Prem Nande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.